Welcome to Moving Beyond Mind Radio with Kyle Harper, where you will be inspired to transcend your current limitations and experience a life of freedom, joy, and peace. Kyle shares his personal stories and wisdom and features interviews with leaders in integrated health, spiritual development, and personal growth. Tap into that well that is inside you and let it flow. And now, your host, Kyle Harper.
I stare at the moon and feel it inside. The quiet silence of presence resides. Heavily at my core, the moonbeam connects. The universal oneness, but my mind projects. This is an object, not you, split. I chuckle. My mind will never get it. There is no object, there's only me. The moon is my soul, it's simple to see. It's always present, yet not always seen. It shines when darkness surrounds its gleam. It reflects the light of source that's too bright to look upon directly without losing sight. I'm not in the universe is me, so hard to comprehend, so easy to see. The sun, my crown, the moon, my soul, my body, the universe, is only one, whole. Good morning. This is Kyle Harper, and welcome to Moving Beyond Mind Radio. This morning, we have a guest with us. Her name is Gita Desai, and she's the writer and producer of the movie Yoga Unveiled. And I hope that Gita is going to give us a deeper understanding of what yoga is and how it can contribute to healing, spiritual development, and personal growth. Gita, are you here?
Yes, I am. Good morning, Kyle, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'll be honored to speak to your listeners, and I'll do my best to throw some light. I myself am a seeker and a continuous student of perpetually trying to learn and advance of yoga and oneness and whatever you may call it. So what can I do for you, Kyle?
Well, thank you for being here. And I guess we could start by just telling us what inspired you to make this movie. What inspired you to make the movie Yoga Unveiled?
First and foremost, I mean, there are many reasons why people do or take on great projects that are beyond their capacity, or in other instances, I meant it's not always beyond your capacity, but here I did bite off more than I could handle, but everything fell into place eventually. But the main bullet points I would like to bring about for making the film were, number one, my deep devotion and passion for yoga. Number one, I just was totally wrapped up in the entire design and the prescription that the old sages have left for humanity in the form of yoga to achieve our ultimate goal, ultimate evolution, ultimate higher self as human beings. So that enamored me completely. And at that very time, I thought I should do something in terms of giving back, because it gave so much to me and my family and in every way. So how do I give back in my small way? Well, I didn't have an answer right away, but as I went around attending workshops and trying to learn myself, I noticed one thing, that most people that attended these in the West, in America, I live here in the Los Angeles area, so what I observed is people who were attending the Hatha Yoga workshops, whether it's for this or that, great teachers, but they were missing the point. They were buying lots and lots and lots of books and kind of, going round and round in circles. I thought they were missing the real essence of yoga, which was understandable. It's a very, very vast ocean of knowledge. It's foreign. It's something from the East. And the teachers here, majority of them sell the physical aspect of yoga. So it's natural that the students or the receivers are going to only look at that small piece. Well, I thought, here's an opportunity to give back. how do I throw maximum light on the real depth and essence of yoga, what it means in the and where asanas, posture practice, which is seen as the ultimate goal of yoga here in the West, where does that fit in the whole picture, in the pie? So that was the beginning. And books, hundreds and thousands have been written, so it would be redundant to write a book on it. So I thought, now nobody's made a film that covers the entirety of the breath, where it began, where it came from, what is the motherland, what was the spiritual, social context where it took birth, how it came to the West, what are the different branches. Everything should be shown so that they have a more chronically solid and a foundation of yoga, where it all began. Where is Bhagavad Gita in the timeline? Who was Patanjali? What are Yoga Sutras? How did it come to the West? Who is B.K.S. Iyengar? Or what is Patabi Jois? What's Ashtanga Yoga? The truth of the matter in a chronicle, not just this, that, and the other, but in a very systematic timeline, so people have a more understanding of, that falls there, this came here, that's what it is, that's what happens, pranayam, and where is meditation, and what is this, and all the garble that they get a lot of times doesn't make sense. So their practice remains at a very base level, and here you feel empowered. When you've seen the movie, you understand, knowledge is power itself. So then you are more grounded in your own practice, and you know where to go, where you are, what's to be done, if at all you're open. But a lot of them are once they watch the film, as you probably would agree, Kyle.
Yes, I definitely.
I hope I didn't speak too much, but this was the gist of it.
No, not at all. And yes, I found the film very helpful in helping me understand the history of yoga, what it meant, or at least what I could perceive from the film that it meant, and just put it all together from the roots in meditation, which is how I came to yoga myself, and then through the postures, the asanas, and then also to now how Western medicine is proving the benefits of the health and the healing that yoga can provide. And your movie definitely helped me to understand that. And I think you said it perfectly. It kind of laid it all out there in a good timeline and helped me bring it all together. I had started studying, or my first experience with yoga on an in-depth level was with Deepak Chopra. I attended his Seduction of Spirit retreat in 2010 in Sedona. And before that time, I had been meditating for about 4 years, but hadn't really put it in any type of context. It was just kind of me out there doing it, and then going and spending some time with him and bringing some of the asanas into it as well was a life-changing experience, and probably has a lot to do with why I'm doing what I'm doing today. Right. Also,
just to go back to a point that you made, is part of the film has yoga as therapy, where I've interviewed some of the greatest well-known doctors, Dr. Oz, Dean Ornish, Herbert Benson, John Kabat-Zinn, Father Joe Pereira. All these are pioneers and very well known, but they speak about how they utilize the simple methods of meditation and yoga in their Western, allopathic healing modalities. They've tied it in, and they speak so well from their hearts how it is so important to have that piece in the puzzle of healing, which is so absent in this Western approach to drugs and surgery all the time. Basically, my whole, it's almost like a silent revolution within me. It's been so for a while, but now more than ever, is towards this almost disgust, I would say, towards how the pharmaceutical giants have completely taken over people's lives by pure marketing. It is pure marketing that has worked against us. And people, if somebody has a headache, the time has come. If somebody has a headache, they start believing that they're Tylenol deficient. That is how powerful the marketing machine has worked on us. They literally think they are deficient in Tylenol, the first thing they do is pop a Tylenol or whatever it is, the headache medicine, painkillers. However, yoga gives you a chance to think, have I had enough water in the day? Have I slept well? Have I given myself some breathing space, some fresh air, some exercise? Have I eaten well? Have I been kind to this wonderful body, a gift that I have from God, this wonderful physical, existence? Have I looked after my mind? Have I cleansed it regularly? These are the questions we have to ask ourselves, and the drug industry, including the doctors, I must be very, very frank, I am very saddened the way the medical world is treating their patients.
Well, Gita, we have to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Sure.
This is Kyle Harper, and you're listening to Moving Beyond Mind Radio, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Moving Beyond Mind Radio, and we're talking with Gita Desai about her movie, Yoga Unveiled. And before the break, Gita was talking about the Western medical system and how, at least my interpretation of what she was saying, is basically how it's just treating symptoms and not a holistic way of healing. Is that kind of the gist of what you were saying, Gita?
Yes, taking away the entire power away from us, that we cannot do anything about our discomforts, disease, unease, whatever it is. They're the only ones, and the drugs are the only way, and they've completely made us feel helpless and enslaved. The pharmaceutical companies spend billions and trillions of dollars after marketing. The mind cannot be beyond a certain amount of the barrage and brainwashing that goes on. I mean, even if you are a finest yogi, it has to have some impact. So we have to work very, very hard on ourselves, and also give ourselves credit and empower ourselves to think, to reflect and say, I have full control and I can make a change if I want in my health, in my mind, in my body. And yoga just does that very, very systematically and methodically. It changes your whole perspective of how life should be lived and what is right, what is wrong. You know that, Kyle. You know what it does. It's a very subtle thing, but changes happen. And it's a beautiful thing when you are empowered.
Yes, it's extremely subtle, but yet profound beyond words.
Mm-hmm.
If you could, because I know some of the audience, I think most everybody has in their mind what yoga is, but if you could tell us, what is yoga? And I know that takes there's no simple answer to that, because it's the same thing as when people ask me what is meditation or what is mindfulness. But right. If you could, within the time that we have available, just help us paint a picture so that we can move past maybe the image that we have in our mind when someone says yoga and expand that to be something more inclusive.
Right. Well, the thing is, every religion, every great sage, every spiritual master in this world that has had an impact on cultures and populations agree to one thing, that every human being, every living being has this center core which is perfect, pure, unchangeable, the consciousness, Atman, Brahman, whatever you call them, each one calls them differently. But that is a unanimous agreement that they've come upon, realized upon by their own great meditation practices and all. Over centuries, I'm talking about, not just the recent ones, but including Jesus and Muhammad and every spiritual giants. So that is determined. We are all pure. We are all unchanging, peaceful, quiet. There's a space in us, within us, each one. Now, yoga is a technique, a methodology, a complete prescription given by the sages of India. Thousands of years ago, they prescribed this whole technique to keep in touch with that oneness and peace and tranquility and whatever you want to call it, but it gives you a whole feeling, or if once you're connected to that realm of your being, you are in every way a better human being, because you're more peaceful. First of all, your oneness is everywhere. You look at nature and you feel one. You look at a person and you feel empathy, sympathy, passion, compassion, whatever comes with oneness. You look at a flower and you're joyful. You look at a bird and you sing with it. And this may seem flighty, but it is very powerful. It's the truth. Every one of us seem to touch that here and there or all the time. So yoga is this union, this complete union of being there, being in that place, no matter what layers, misery, jealousy, all those things that we have drop, and we come closer and closer to it, and for longer and longer of time periods. You are able to stay there. So then you are very stable as a living being. You're stable. You're able to have your maximum potential out, and whatever you do then flourishes, not only materially, but whatever it is that you're doing. It becomes a better effort, better product, and so your evolution happens. A human being raises oneself from a lower materialistic, just pleasure-seeking, whatever they call it, our lower selves become higher, where we're seeking out more kindness, more greatness, more peace. Let's just stick to peace. And no anxiety, no undue fears. Lots of things come with it, and absolute good health, too. And even if you're not in good health for whatever reason, you have a disease or, heredity or whatever it is, your inside is not as rattled and as shattered. You see things in a more philosophical way, and you take that sickness with a different grain, So yoga is just a methodology. Basically, it's a brilliant prescription, unchanging, universal, applies any time in the history of mankind, anywhere in the world, and everybody can achieve that. So I look at it completely as a design of the masters to be one with this self or the deeper dimensions that all of us have within us. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It makes perfect sense to me.
And there's so many types of people. They also recognize that our personalities, our structure is so different, psychological, physical, whatever, energetic, that they had to have many, many paths to the mountain. And therefore, different branches of yoga. There's one which is bhakti, which is devotion, karma, which is selfless. You give yourself to a betterment of the world or anything, any cause. But selflessness is the biggest thing in there, very difficult, seems simple. Then there's Hatha Yoga, the physical practices that we think postures, that has a place. It all cleanses us from layer to layer to layer to layer, getting us closer to the inside, the deeper dimensions. So therefore, that's where the posture practice comes in. It's a very small piece. It's very important, but it's only a piece in the puzzle. Yeah.
So
yeah.
is
Go ahead.
Is yoga a religion, or is it a philosophy, or does it not fit within either one of those categories?
No, absolutely, it's not a religion. It comes from India. The motherland, unquestionably, is India, and it has lots and lots of connections to Hinduism. Is not a religion. It's more a way of life anyway. Everybody has so much freedom to think of their God differently. Somebody would think a cow is a god. Somebody would think a mountain is a god. Somebody would have these, so everybody is given that tremendous freedom of finding this oneness through their own devotion. So in Hinduism itself is more a way of life. So how can yoga be a religion? Now, yoga did spring from the bedrock of Hinduism, the lifestyle, the way of being. Let me just focus on it. It's a way of being and looking at the larger picture of the universe, other people, nature, animals, food, children, everything. It's a way of looking at things,
Well,
of
Gita,
being.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you there. We're out of time for today.
Oh, yes. Yoga is not a religion. It's more psychology. Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us, Gita. And
not at all.
I appreciate having you. This is Kyle Harper with Moving Beyond Mind Radio, and you can join us next Saturday at 8 a.m. here on the Big Talker FM.
Need a little more Moving Beyond Mind? Go to kylepharper.com or call or text 910-367-1623 for information about private one-on-one centering sessions or group workshops and retreats. That's kylepharper.com or 910-367-1623.